And welcome back to the Nutrimedical Report. We are having phone line troubles, but if you have questions, you can actually shuttle them over to our Nutrimedical office, and Michelle will write them down, and I will try to answer them online. That's 888-212-8871. And you can mention your name, first name if you want, and town or country, and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. If you do have a question, by the way, I do answer emails from anybody, even non-customers, with a quick answer. If it's complicated, I will request that you get a consultation if you're a non-customer. If you're elite, you can get a phone or email consult at no charge for basic consultations. If it's really extensive, which happens rarely, but it does, I will ask for you to do a time consult fee, because it's going to be involved with hours of work to try to sort through all kinds of documents, histories, and images, etc. And perhaps recommendations for you to get further testing done, further technologies like a QRMA or a DLRAS in order to be able to diagnose what's wrong. And we go considerably farther than even your primary doctor or specialist, because we can measure toxicology, genetics, organic acids, and the quantum physics of your biology, including QRMA, 8-DLRAS, or Metatron, which, as I mentioned, we'll be talking with Michael from China in hour number 4 today. So you need to be aware that that's a possibility. So we provide a level of technology that your doctor can't and will not know unless they're involved with these more advanced research facilities in China or Russia that are working on these technologies. And I'll be collaborating with them on the next level. Let's look at some of the next nutraceuticals. We talked about Carboblock. Carnosine is very important. It actually stops sugar cross-links, but it also gets rid of free radicals. We have a dimethylcarnosine for your eyes and CAN-C. If you take oral carnosine along with ultrathymine B1, it's going to stop the cross-linking of sugar molecules to your proteins. So the use of carnosine and ultrathymine B1 are very important for diabetics to prevent annealing or cross-linking of your proteins in your body, your enzymes, etc. We have cell defense, which is curcumin in a slow-release matrix. It's one of the most important anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, anti-cytokine formulas out there. Cell defense, very slow release. And we have it's a special curcumin with bioperin. We have cell detox glutathione. This is when people talk about one world way and all kinds of other things to reduce glutathione peroxidase activity, these are minor, almost nothing compared to the actual cell detox glutathione. This is even more powerful than intravenous glutathione itself, because the acetyl form, it has a longer acting half-life and will get much higher concentrations in your tissues than even the IV form. So cell detox glutathione. Keeler Max. If you want to get rid of heavy metals, we have Keeler Max, and we also have zeolite. We have the only non-acid wash zeolite. Zeolites form when magma hits the ocean water and forms these little tiny microscopic nanocages of aluminum. Now, aluminum is not toxic when it's these nanocages. In fact, what it does is it goes in like a cage, almost like grabbing crayfish or lobster, grabs the toxic heavy metal and then pulls it out of your body. So, Keeler Max and zeolite. Now, do not get bentonite clay. I think this is a good thing. If you're taking too much clay, you can get bowel obstruction, diverticular flare-ups, very serious problems. So I don't like bentonite clay. We have cod liver liquid. This supplies not only omega fatty acids, but fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, and phospholipids. This is head-to-head will lower your cholesterol to its normal range and lipid levels faster than anything. To lower triglycerides, we add Neovasc, which is niacinamide. We have Cognition Plus, which is the neurotransmitter memory protectant. To raise neurotransmitters to normal, I recommend Neurival, which is acetyltyrosine with bioperin, and a BioLVR. So that's how you can restore neurotransmitter levels. Cognition Plus, brain power to stop oxidative stress, and synaptin as an addition to the Cognition Plus. Collagen Max is one of our most popular, and your keratin in your nails and make your nails like talons. Your skin will just be reduces wrinkles 47% in 6 months photographically, and the research studies have been done with Collagen Max. It is amazing in terms of restoring bone strength, crystallizing the type 29 collagen for your bones, improving hair and nails. It's just amazing. People say, when you tell women about this, how it changes the wrinkles from the inside, say, I want some. And we sell tons of Collagen Max. They love it. Colon cleanse. This cleanses a toxin from your lower bowel. If you're trying to not get diverticular flare-ups, you want to be on colon cleanse, at least a capsule at night. If you have chronic constipation, 1 twice a day. And then, of course, I talk about the soluble fiber present in our formulas like Glycemix, Life Support, and Ageless. They're all fantastic for that. You want to be taking copper Regenermax, which is copper sabacate, along with phospholipids to rebuild any solid organ, kidneys, liver, heart, brain. Copper Regenermax, and then I recommend Minerals Plus and Vitamin Mineral Max for all the cofactors necessary for regenerating tissues. Vitamin Mineral Max and Minerals Plus, but the copper is extremely important in a ligand form for tissue regeneration. So that, along with Nutrifos and Neurogen. Neurogen is made from docosahexaene acid from algae. Very high concentration, very protective of the brain and blood vessel walls. We have the CoQ10 Supreme and CoQ10 Ubiquinol. We talked earlier in the show about that today. The Ubiquinol is a super high absorption reserve form. I recommend you take both. We have the only CoQ10 in the world that is non-crystallizing. So anybody in the company that says they have a really good CoQ10. And if you want to make new mitochondria, the combination is a triad of Supernox, Anti-Age Max, and Nutritrala. And of course we have mitochondrial catalysts. And the most powerful stimulant to make new mitochondria is Nutriodine. And we have uridine for making new mitochondria function at a higher level, as well as the ALC-1000, acetylcarnitine, D-ribose, and now in addition, that will be coming up this week, is called NADH, nicotine adenine dinucleotide hydride. We now have that available. We have curcumin cream, which is a transdermal curcumin for topical anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer effect, and for as a carrier. In fact, it's part of our carrier for our special we call cellulite formula, which I'll be posting up. Cytidine choline. This is CDP choline for it's a nucleoside for repairing the cholinergic pathways in your brain if you have Down syndrome or autism or memory problems as you get older, or if you've been on toxic drugs or chemotherapy brain, we call it. Cytidine choline, uridine, monophosphate 300, and ultrathymine B1 are the big triad to restore normal acetylcholine levels to your brain. We have the D-ribose that converts directly to ATP. Defense wipes. These are antiviral wipes that are actually kills viruses on contact and pathogenic bacteria. They're fantastic they're part of our biological weapons protection kit, including niacin, F95, Nutriodine, and NutriDefense, which I custom designed to block all pathogen entry, virals, RNA and DNA viruses, and boost your natural killer cell activity. We have DHEA, dehydroepiandrosterone sulfate. The capsules these support your adrenal and sex hormone glands, along with pregnenolone. Male takes 2 tablets in the morning, female 1 tablet of 25 milligrams, and pregnenolone 100. Dibetaline, this is our primary formula for diabetes. We recommend taking with that leptin metabolic, Minerals Plus, and chromium cruciferate to restore insulin resistance, and LipoFlush to flush fatty tissues, fatty acids, and restore normal fatty acid metabolism. We have Digestes. This is extremely important for restoring normal pepsin level from the stomach wall acid and stomach acid acidity. Otherwise, your digestive enzymes don't work, and you can't clear your upper stomach from bacteria that can invade the upper small bowel, called SBO, or small bowel overgrowth. Ellagic acid. This is very important for precancer abnormal cell death. So it can actually make the cells repair or cause cancer cell death. It also is very protective and healing for blood vessel walls, for your arteries and veins throughout your body. For your veins as well, to get rid of spider nevi, we use Vein-Away, which is diosmin. It's a specific nanoparticle size in all the advanced research studies on restoring kidney function and blood vessels. Enhanced for Men. This is a herbal formula for boosting testosterone. We use it after. We use Men's Max and Hormone Synergy. The Men's Max will release a hormone from your binding globulin protein. Hormone Synergy will prevent your fatty tissues from converting male hormone to female. And Enhanced for Men, after you take DHEA and pregnenolone, will restore your production of hormones. So then we have Femgesterone for women to restore their progesterone levels. When we come back, we'll continue explaining how to take these amazing nutraceuticals in our protocols. And we're having some phone line troubles. There's been some extreme weather around Minnesota, where the main studio is, in Eagan, Minnesota, just outside St. Paul. And people need to understand this is space weather. We're having a CME's coronal mass ejection striking the Earth. There were a number of small ones and a fairly large one coming in as well. And these cause geomagnetic storms that can throw surges on the power lines. And we talked about this with Professor McCanny, and I'll try not to get too technical. But the power corporations wrongheadedly try to control voltage and frequency, and the problem they have now is when you have a power surge from a CME, or if you have a CME and you don't back off the power output from a nuclear plant or your coal-fired plant, the power lines cause frequency and voltage shift, and that voltage and frequency shift can burn out lights, power transformers, and your computer. And that can actually cause breakers to flip, so all of a sudden power blacks out in certain areas as well. So what's going on basically is due to extreme solar activity that's happening right now. And there's also solar and galactic activity that's very extreme lately. When there's less sunspots, there's actually more solar storms. And as Professor McCanny said, the nuclear activity in the sun is not deep inside the sun, it's on the surface. So the plasma activity that creates the solar wind and creates the solar reactions, the nuclear fusion energy, is actually on the surface of the sun. It's not deep inside the sun itself. That's interesting and fascinating. Let's continue. We were talking about femgestrone, 2 pumps to 3 pumps in the upper abdomen and chest. Many women who have perimenopausal, the primary problem is progesterone deficiency. We recommend femgestrone first and then add DHEA and pregnenolone a lot of time. The estrogen is very, very slow to cause troubles, and if you give DHEA and pregnenolone, women will make plenty of that, but they're usually progesterone deficient. Ferritin. This is the oral iron form, iron 3 organic form, and it will not cause constipation. It's amazing. We have, our flu and radiation kit. It includes 2 flu masks, the NIOSH N95, and viral protection kit as well. Forskolin, this is the hypertension and cardiac support formula. It also helps to support peripheral deiodination to form the T3, which is the activated thyroid hormone. Because peripheral activation is impaired, that's why leptin metabolic. And forskolin and Nutrimedical will increase the peripheral conversion to the active form of T3, not reverse T3. It'll actually shut off your metabolism of your fat tissue. So people that have obesity or extrametabolic syndrome all have elevated RT3 levels. Forskolin, T3, and will all help to reverse that. So it's very important to understand the effect of forskolin and Nutrimedical. Full vitamin K2, this is the menaquinone 7, and you take it with our calcium formula called Bone Generator. It's also very good for fighting cancer. We use it along with high-dose vitamin C, Power C, 1 full vitamin K2 for 3 Power C, or 4.5 gram equivalents of calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium ascorbate with bioperin and the Power C. And we usually try to get to a target around at least 60 gram equivalents a day of ascorbic acid. It's easy to do when you're taking a capsule equal to 1.5 grams. You split it up, it's pretty easy to do. Gamma E+, we talked about this earlier, which is gamma tocopherols to repair ion channels. Gastro Heal, which is zinc carnosine, the lady that we had a small bowel overgrowth and dysbiosis and probably leaky gut syndrome. She can do a test for lactulose and mannitol through the lab at Genova Metametrics. McGuffey Labs also will do a test for zonulin to see if the tight junctions are impaired in her small bowel, or she's got some form of villus inflammation of the villi of her small bowel, which would mean she's probably got, if they did a biopsy, they'd see abnormalities there for a gastroenterologist. Gastrozyme, this is the remarkable formula. It's a 1-2 punch. Digestes and gastrozyme, usually they go together. You've got to restore stomach acid, or the enzymes don't work optimally. This is a broad-spectrum, non-animal-based enzyme that even has glutenase to get rid of gluten. Glycemics vanilla. And the Glycemics vanilla is super powerful for weight loss and putting muscle on, along with mega muscles or amino acid powder. By the way, if you're trying to put muscle on, you want these 3 things. Microdose, which is growth hormone homeopathic. Supernox to release growth hormone. And mega muscles, which is our special amino acid powder. And by the way, you've got to control insulin, so you want to control insulin with leptin metabolic, chromium cruciferate, and the use of dibetaline to get the blood sugar down. And of course, we're clearing Biotin Plus, which is also one of our other diabetic formulas. It's very good for lowering blood sugar and improving mitochondrial energetics with biotin. The Green Tea Select. This is ECGC catechin polyphenol. Very good. It's so powerful, for example, for pulling out the catechins that it's very hard to have bad breath because they're thiol compounds. But it'll boost your metabolic rate. Each capsule equivalent to 10 pots of green tea. So if you take a capsule twice a day, it's going to boost your fat metabolism, pull the toxic chemicals out of your body, improve your breath, and help to detoxify you. Very, very good for chemical detox. Her Majesty's Royal Jelly. This is interesting. Along with Collagen Max, Royal Jelly makes your body make pro-collagen. It also stimulates mitochondrial energy for fatty acid metabolism. So if you're taking that along with things like our VascuCare, Propionyl, Carnitine, CoQ10, Her Majesty's Royal Jelly will make your fatty acid metabolism boost. It also increases pro-collagen, so it makes you have better pro-collagen for healing your skin, hair, nails, etc. So it's Her Majesty's Royal Jelly, very interesting effect. Hormone Synergy, this is going to the aromatase 8 enzyme. This blocks hot flashes in men and women, but it also prevents men's hormones from being converted to female in your adipose tissue and vice versa. Hormone Synergy, usually 2 capsules in the morning for men or women. And it also stops hot flashes, too. We call it Flash Away under another name. IBS Care, this is a special form of carnitine for your bowel. It's IBS-care for irritable bowel syndrome care. It also is very good for slow-release carnitine for other organs in your body, but particularly for the myenteric plexus of your bowel wall. Inflammex, this is the super anti-inflammatory, both for interfascial adhesions, inflammation in your arteries, inflammation in any organ. And that is a 1-2 punch with cell defense. Inflammex has serrapeptase as well as the 10 times more powerful than the old Wobenzyme N formula. So real powerful stuff. I usually take 3 or 4 capsules at least once a day, but often twice a day, and it'll turn off inflammation anywhere. It's amazing. Joint Performance, this is going to regenerate your joints along with Collagen Max and Mountain Red Velvet. And Tendon Mender will make the tenocytes of your tendons lay down and become less swollen, like your wrist, your feet, anywhere in your body, plantar fascia. Tendon Mender, very important. And Leptin Metabolic. This is an amazing weight management osteoarthritis formula. It lowers the leptin resistance in your tissues, restores appetite to normal, lowers the insulin leptin receptor resistance, so that makes that much better, and lowers the cytokine levels in your joints. So it's an amazing breakthrough. We have the only metabolic leptin formula in the world, nothing like it. And of course, Life Support, one of our top formulas for anybody, children or adults. If you want to open the capsules, don't swallow pills. Become a barista for Nutrimeds. Use Life Support. I like NutriComplete and Glycemics, Ageless, and it is a glorious time to be free and actually have the information to take control of your own health. We've had some amazing testimonials, all the way from people with organic brain dysfunction and early dementia reversed, to people with serious vertigo, people with chronic TMJ problems and cervical myelopathy or cervical disc disease, NICA or periodontal infections, to chronic sinus problems cleared up, difficulty with coronary artery disease reversed, people with congestive heart failure reversed, people with chronic obstructive lung disease, cancer healed of the chest, lungs, bones, etc., lymphoma, people with chronic inflammatory bowel disease and cystic fibrosis or problems with serious small bowel overgrowth or chronic diverticulosis, people with chronic peripheral nerve disease, vascular disease, neuropathies, dermatitis, chronic arthritis of the axial spine, disc disease of the back, chronic pain syndromes, peripheral neuropathy. It's amazing the array of conditions we've been able to reverse with Nutrimeds and our technology. And returning to talk about some of the Nutrimeds, Joint Performance and Tendon Mender, Collagen Max and Mountain Red Velvet, this foursome is amazing at reversing connective tissue diseases. And of course, one of my favorite drinks is Life Support, and I tell people if you want to make the ideal smoothie for your kids, use NutriComplete, which is a amazing reds and greens, complete vegetables and goji berry, Life Support Ageless, and if you have any blood sugar control issues, use Glycemics as well. But the Life Support and Ageless and NutriComplete make a fantastic smoothie kids and adults love, and then you can open the capsules up. If you don't like swallowing capsules, you can mix up a ratio of them in a container, keep it in your refrigerator, and take out a measuring scoop, a small little mini scoop, and put that in a smoothie. You can have the smoothie pre-prepared in a large blender like a Ninja blender in your fridge. Take it out, put it in a measured cup, use a vertical, we call hand mixer, and just put that little scoop of powder, puncture the soft gels, or put the oils in, and make a smoothie and take that 2 or 3 times a day, and you're all set. You get all your nutraceuticals. You don't have to swallow any capsules, and you're all pre-prepared. So it makes it very, very nice and efficient that you've actually, let's say, prepared a month's worth of nutraceuticals in the right ratio, so you count out the number of pills you would for a whole month, open them all up in a container, mix it up and blend it very nicely and smoothly, and keep it in your refrigerator, and you're all set. So a lot of people say, oh, I can't swallow that many pills. Don't swallow pills. I mean, swallow a smoothie, and it tastes great. One of my next nutraceuticals is LipoFlush. Very important if you're trying to mobilize fat out of fat storage. Think of it this way. Hibernation and obesity are tied to directly insulin resistance. It's switching on of genes to stop starvation and death, which is pretty serious for ancient man and not so ancient man, where a number of populations like the Pima Indian, the Ashkenazi Jews, and many more have high ratios of diabetes because they have survivor genes. And what their fat tissue does is generate reverse T3. The reverse T3 actually shuts off their metabolism. The tissue on thermographic analysis shows decreased metabolic activity. The reverse T3 also decreases leptin and insulin resistance, so they'll increase their total body mass, so they'll survive starvation, and has a lower metabolic rate as well, because even if you have adequate T3, reverse T3 will block it. In fact, you can put somebody into space and use reverse T3, and you could actually travel to a nearby planet like Mars for a 10-month mission with, say, 2 weeks of supplies of food by simply putting them into serious suspended animation, so their metabolic rate would drop dramatically and their core body temperature would drop enough degrees that they would be on what we call hypometabolism, so they would survive on very tiny amounts of calories without getting nutritionally imbalanced, because you use nutrients up in a specific ratio, and if you drop the metabolic rate sufficiently, you wouldn't end up with electrolyte or deficiencies. And this is what happens with our population now. Because of genetically modified, mineral-depleted, and toxic food, the body thinks it's under starvation and switches on the famine genes. So, LipoFlush is very good at actually mobilizing fat, along with leptin metabolic. Living probiotic, and this is for your large bowel. Remember, if you don't have a large bowel, which this unfortunate lady did earlier today didn't have one, you don't need probiotics. They won't work. They work only in your large bowel. And you want Living Probiotic Ultra, which is very important for everybody else with a bowel, which is almost all of us. And Living Probiotic Ultra, which is the How Are You strain. Our Living Probiotic Standard is the most powerful standard strain, the Rizal 6 strain from Pasteur Institute in Paris. So we have top notch. And then we have the How Are You strain, the most powerful probiotic on earth ever developed. Nothing like it. And then lumbrokinase. We bring this in from China, from Beijing, through a U.S. certified lab. Number of units. It's much better price than the old Baloki we used to carry. It lowers blood viscosity, reduces Pi-1 plasminogen activator inhibitor, C-reactive protein, inflammatory markers, and rheologic blood thickness, which if you do a rheologics test, that's RHEOLOGICS test, you can have your doctor send your blood in to get a rheologics blood viscosity analysis. And this is the primary thing that causes plaque and heart attack and stroke. It's rheologic blood viscosity related to elevated levels of C-reactive protein and levels of fibrin and antibodies that can actually make your blood cells sticky, including what's called non-Newtonian fluid dynamics. Magnesium glycinate malate. This is amazing stuff. It's a magnesium glycinate and a dimagnesium malate, and it helps to raise your total body magnesium, which is a stress mineral, and for your brain, heart, liver, kidney, any solid organ. Magnesium potassium citrate will stop kidney formation, and magnesium taurate is one of my favorites for as a twin with magnesium glycinate for heart protection. So I usually recommend a 2-to-1 ratio. If you're going to take 4 magnesium glycinate, take 2 magnesium taurate twice a day for your heart if you have heart problems or CNS problems or serious stress. We have Maligna Block. This blocks cancer. Maligna Block, very, very powerful. It's from the broccoli seed extract developed at Johns Hopkins University. It pairs up with our ellagic acid from the Terminella jabulia plant at DNA repair or causing cells to go through apoptosis if they're beyond repair and they're turning into cancer or stimulating autoimmune diseases. And our high-dose Power C was minoquinone 7 or vitamin K2. The minoquinone 7, vitamin K2, ellagic acid, and are the top three we call apoptogenic agents. And we have, of course, malignant arrest, which actually stops the sugar metabolism energetics of cancer cells and autoimmune tissues. And we found actually the metabolism of autoimmune tissue is very similar to diabetic tissue. So the antigenic surfaces of the tissue starts to express proteins that produce self-antibody attack, and malignant arrest will help reverse that. So if you've got somebody with autoimmune colitis, arthritis, etc., malignant arrest is helpful for that too. We use mega muscles. This is a power amino acids for putting on lean body mass for your bones, muscles, positive nitrogen balance. So if you're trying to muscle up and burn off calories and shunt them into muscle, you want to add mega muscles. And I put the mega muscle powder in my drink that I take during the day. Melatonin TR. This is the time-release melatonin. When people say, well, I can't tolerate melatonin, that's because most melatonins are, you get a big dosage. This is 1 milligram immediate and 4 milligrams slow. I personally take 3 of them, which is 15 milligrams, which is I call a Rasputin dosage. And I take also 3 scoops each of Combine and Brain Mag. So after my very hyper day, it takes a lot to slow down Dr. Bill. But so I take a dosage about 5 times more than the average person. And it works like a charm. Men's Max. This is very important. The Men's Pack, of course, includes Men's Max, Enhanced for Men, and Supernox. If you're trying to restore sexual activity, the Men's Pack is good. Men's Max itself is really important for you to release male hormone. The hormone synergy releases the prevention hormones from being converted to female. Then we add DHEA, 2 tablets, and pregnenolone in the morning, and then finally Enhanced for Men. Very important to restore normal sexual activity, which in our toxic world is tough. More males are being feminized. That's why NutriDefense and Xenoestrin Detox remove the biotoxins, and BioLVR helps to get rid of these biotoxins along with the Green Tea Select and NutriDefense catechins. They grab a hold of those biotoxins, BPA, etc., and get them up because they're estrogenic molecules. They lock on the estrogen receptor. When we come back, hopefully our phone lines will be working. If they do, you can call in or call our 888-ORDER line, 212-8871. And welcome back. And, of course, we've got some amazing nutraceuticals formulas here that we want to talk about. If you have a health problem, by the way, and you can't get through on our phone lines because they're down, call our 888 line, and Michelle, write down your specific question, your first name, city, state, country. That's 888-212-8871. And we're continuing to go down to our nutraceuticals. We're down to microdose, which again, if you're trying to increase muscle mass, you want microdose, 5 sprays morning before exercise and bedtime. Mega muscles powder, probably half a teaspoon. Take a blast just before you exercise and at bedtime, where you're going to be building tissue. I like to put it also in my Sports Energy Light drink, where I put in D-ribose and ALC 1000, Brain Mag, and Calm Mind. The microdose is amazing stuff. It's actually 100 nanograms of actual growth hormone per spray, so you're getting 500 nanograms that is of spray if you take that before exercise, bedtime, and first thing in the AM. Mitothyroid is another amazing formula that's thyroid, adrenal, and hypothalamus, and it's superior even to taking Western thyroid research, which is better than Armour. Do not take a synthetic thyroid like levothyroxine or any other formulas such as Synthroid. These are T4 synthetic molecules that are not properly and easily bioconverted. Require 7 different minerals plus other cofactors to bioconvert T4 to T3 at the 5' deiodinase, called outer ring deiodination. Inner ring deiodination actually converts to reverse T3 that actually blocks your metabolism, so that's bad. And we find everybody with Syndrome X has elevated reverse thyroid hormone. And that can be reversed with nutriodine, with things like LipoFlush, diabetoline, and Biotin Plus, which is our other formula. Biotin Plus is very helpful as well. We have, of course, mitochondrial catalysts and Minerals Plus. The Minerals Plus contains a lot of trace minerals, especially for energetics and for mood and for immune system function, that complementary to Vitamineral Max. So they take 1 each capsule twice a day. The Mitochondrial catalysts contain a lot of bioenergetic support for your mitochondria. I recommend at least a capsule in the morning, and if you have significant chronic fatigue, one twice a day. We have monolaurin, which is lauric acid and niacin. Monolaurin actually is present also in our NutriDefense. The monolaurin strips off and destroys the capsule of all RNA and DNA viruses. So if you have a chronic viral infection or if you're worried about an outbreak, this will stop it, whether it's abscess, stomatitis, or herpes virus infections or papillomavirus. Ultra D3 liquid, we have the Micelle D3 liquid, high potency, 1,000 international units per drop. We have the Micelle D3 soft gels, 5,000 units per soft gel. These are amazing. And then Myco D2, which is the oncomycin that helps fight cancer, helps to stimulate ergothioneine to stimulate tissue regeneration and immune system function, especially your natural killer cells. So Micelle D3 and Myco D2 essential for your T cells to work and your immune system to work. The Myco D2 also we call oncomycin because it helps to fight cancer. It's one of our cancer nutraceutical formulas as well. Nattokinase, developed by Dr. Sumi in Japan and Dr. Holsworth here in North America. Extremely important for reducing vascular inflammation. I recommend 3 capsules for a male twice a day if they have heart disease. Lumbric-kinase, 1 capsule 3 times a day. Lumbric-kinase has 14 times more power in specific parts of the pathway. I usually start off preventatively with nattokinase, and if there's a vascular event in the past or a danger, then we recommend adding, and not removing the nattokinase, but adding lumbric-kinase. Neovasc, this is niacinamide, which is a special B3 release form to lower triglycerides. It also will help to reverse fatty liver, which can occur with hyperinsulinemia that can cause fatty liver hepatitis. We have Neurogen, which is DHA 200 milligrams per soft gel. It's an algae-based docosahexaenoic acid, very important for your brain development, myelination in babies, remyelination in adults, protecting against vascular disease. If you add Neurogen to your protocol, especially along with Omega Supreme Krill, you're going to help with healing your blood vessel walls a lot, especially with taking vein away, which is diacemin. We have Neurival. If you're trying to improve, let's say, neurological function, motor control, soft, immune system motor control of your bladder or your nervous system, or chronic fatigue in say, multiple sclerosis, we add Neurival, which is acetyltyrosine. For bladder, we use also bladder up and Swedish flower pollen, but Neurival will increase the detrusor tone of your bladder. NutriComplete, this is a complete reds and greens and veggie fruit. It's an amazing formula. I love the flavor of it. I mix it in with our other nutraceuticals. We have I want to make my special drinks with, which I have to make another one after the show today. So I make my daughter's, Kelsey's, she calls it syrup, which is a combination of the following: glycemics. In a big blender, I usually put, a giant 2-liter blender plus, and put in 2 scoops to 3 scoops of glycemics, 2 scoops of life support, 2 scoops of ageless, a couple small scoops of the NutriComplete, probably around 4 or 5 tablespoons of omega cod liver liquid, Cardiovasc in the formula, Nutriodine, D-ribose, and acetyl-L-carnitine and brain mag. And put in about maybe 6 to 8 ounces of Califia almond coconut milk, and the rest is ice and water. Fantastically blended together. And then I'll add, when I make her personal syrup, I add Cognition Plus, Leptin Metabolic, Bone Generator, Neurogen, etc., and her formula, which helps to reverse the 5 major genes that cause Down syndrome. And she's doing fantastic. In fact, she's on our treadmill now, and she usually does an hour and a half of treadmill every day while she's watching her movies that she likes about dolls. So she's a sweetie. And the next, of course, is NutriComplete. We talked about this reds and greens. NutriDefense. This is a formula I designed specifically to block pathogens, boost your immune system, grab a hold of toxins, protect you against radiation. It is I take 3 of the capsules twice a day. It's amazing. It's the most powerful antioxidant in the world in the anhydrous catechin. Research studies on prostate cancer said it completely eliminates it. I think it's the most powerful antioxidants to grab toxins you can get for pulling chemicals out of your body is in NutriDefense. So that combined with xenoestrogen detox is very effective. We have the Nutrimune. We used to have the in a powder form, but the capsules make it much more convenient. Nutrimune is the immunoglobulin for natural white cell killer activity, and usually recommend for basic support 2 capsules a day. If you have a serious health problem, up to 4 capsules twice a day. Nutrimedical, of course, is our Tesla-activated monatomic iodine. Resurrects your mitochondria, resurrects your energy, protects you from radiotoxins, and protects your mitochondria from being destroyed. Literally kills all known pathogens in your body and goes through the biofilm like it's not even there. It's the most powerful of our 3 antipathogenics. Nutridyne's number 1. Allison Med, and then Silver 100, all top-notch products, and there's no comparison to our silver from any other silver. No comparison of our Allison Med. 200 milligrams more even than Alamed. Alamed's excellent, but this one is even 200 milligrams more. And we have Omega Supreme Krill. The astaxanthin in it is particularly protective of your brain and your blood vessels. Extremely important. Omega Supreme, these are processed in Norway from small fish. There's no solvents, excipients, or heavy metals in every batch is tested. We have Posinol, which is a positive mood elevator and adaptogen. I recommend at least 2 soft gels a day. If you have serious stress, 2 soft gels 3 times a day. Power C Plus. This is like liquid electrons, as Linus Pauling would say. Pauling basically thought he could treat cancer or anything, and he's right. If we give you a serious autoimmune disease, 40 to 60 grams a day and 60 to 100 of Power C if you've got cancer, we can turn your cancer off. Basically, combined with our nutraceuticals, Laetrile IV, Coli vaccine, and dendritic vaccines, hyperthermia, and mild hyperbaric oxygen, and morphogenic field therapy, and we can turn off your cancer. It's basically an infection. We can kill, we can resurrect the mitochondrial function, we can resurrect your immune function, strip off the capsule of the tumor. Combined with our other nutraceuticals, like Powermethyl B12, Pregnenolone, our Prostate Flow for prostate, Recidival for hair tonic, Regenerex for regenerating your antioxidant systems genetically, Semethyl for improving methylation and pulling out heavy metals and toxic chemicals, Selenium cruciferate, and Seroflozyme for silkworm enzyme. We have the most advanced formulas on earth to heal your body. We'll be back in a moment with our number 3, coming up in a minute with Clint Richardson, the Corporation Nation.